It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Brewdog and Northern Monk Brewing Company, and it's a can of the Vermont Sessions. It's a Session New England IPA, 440 milliliter can, 5.2% ABV. Without further ado, let's get the can out into a glass and see what we get. This is part of a brand new range of beers that I think has been exclusively brewed for Morrison's supermarket. So, 3-finger white head, lovely and hazy. Lovely. I mean, this looks exactly like a Vermont Session IPA, a Vermont IPA, and I have no doubts with Brewdog's brewing knowledge, and of course Northern Monk's brewing knowledge. Why wouldn't it not look like a Vermont IPA? Yeah, so a straw coloured, looks like it's full of oats, an oaty, creamy, hazy looking beer. Lovely fluffy white head. Let's have a look at the carbonation. Slow moving carbonation. Let's get the aroma. Oh yeah, it smells really good. It smells really good. Juicy, mango, passion fruit, grapefruit. It was £3 a can in Morrison's. Let's dive in. Cheers, everyone. Lovely, absolutely lovely, lovely beer. I'm going to give that a Stone the Crows. Stone the Crows. Really good tasting beer. Little shake of the head. We'll get into all of that later on. But a little shake of the head because, yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Let's concentrate on the beer for a moment. It's really good. Stone the Crows. Plenty of flavour in the middle. Some pineapple, some mango, some grapefruit. It's really punchy. There's loads of flavour coming through. Well done, Brewdog. Well done, Northern Monk, on this. A really good, I mean, for £3 a can, this, I mean, as with the other beer that they have in Tesco as well, the Brewdog versus Cloudwater, staple beers for a very good price that could sit in your fridge. Don't let it sit in your fridge too much. You're meant to drink these fresh. But relatively cheap beer for what you're getting. Good quality beer for £3 a can. I like it. I like it. I'd have no problem whatsoever buying 4 cans of this and sitting on a Sunday afternoon like I like doing, having a drink. Or maybe even doing one of my live feeds that I do now, the virtual pub, the Stoned Crow, as everybody called it in a live stream the other night. Yeah, it's good, really good sessionable beer. A little bit of sweetness to begin with. Touch of bitterness on the back end. Rammed full of hops. Rammed full of hops. As I mentioned, passion fruit, grapefruit, mango, citrus. It's got a lovely kind of oaty, kind of creamy mouthfeel, which you would expect from a Vermont IPA. If you're new to craft beer, if you've bought this beer in the supermarket in April, end of March, April 2020, we all know what's going on. If your other beer stocks are low and you're buying different beers just to have a drink, and you poured this out and you're thinking, why is my beer this colour? And just don't worry. Beer like this is meant to be like this. It's meant to be creamy and lovely and hazy. Packed full of flavour in the middle. Tropical flavours. Punch bowl fruits. Yeah, really good. I will, there's a lot to read on the back of here. I'll read the description about the beer first then. Northern England and Northern Scotland unite for this New England IPA, a transatlantic juice bomb of flavour, pours as bright and hazy as a Vermont morning with massive fruit aromas. Sweet and juicy to taste with notes of tropical fruit, big pineapple, stone fruit and a dash of coconut. Brewed with oats and wheat and left unfiltered for a smoother session, Vermont Sessions, the opaque state. Northern Monk are based in Leeds. Brewdog are based in Ellen in Scotland and in Germany and in Australia, and they have an airline and whatnot. I'm going to touch on now what was the shake of the head all about. Just like, you never quite know what you're going to get these days with Brewdog. You never know. This, as you know, is superb. It's a superb beer. They know, for a price point of £3, they know how to brew great beer, Brewdog. It's so frustrating because for every great beer that Brewdog produces, they'll produce an OG hazy, which is a dumbed down version of Hazy Jane. And I just find this so frustrating. The collaboration between Brewdog versus Modern Times. It was awful. It was an awful, awful beer. But then again, on the plus side, the Brewdog versus Cloudwater, I titled my video on YouTube, this beer could be a game changer. This beer could be a complete game changer. And the people who are getting into craft beer are going to tell their people, friends and family, and they're going to try this. And it was good, really, really, really good craft beer for the masses. And just, you know, and then they produced that Sun-Made Stout. I said that Sun-Made Stout, which I reviewed, I think, early January of 2020. I said that was the best beer Brewdog have ever produced. It was tremendous. It was a tremendous, tremendous beer. This, for £3, is a tremendous, tremendous beer. I totally get it, and I totally like it, and I will be buying more of it. I just want Brewdog to be consistent. I mean, this is Northern Monk are the partner here. I imagine they had over the phone, or maybe they sent a brewer to Brewdog to brew with Brewdog on this. But it's all brewed at Brewdog in Ellen, I believe, in Scotland. I've never been. Brewdog can produce some fantastic beer. Really, really fantastic beer. And this reminds me of like the punk of old. I know it's a Vermont Session IPA. I know it's a different variant on an IPA, but essentially, punk IPA, when I tried it back in 2010, was punchy and it was aggressive and it was on edge and it was bold to be different, and all the other statements they used to come out with is to drive tanks down the road. And I understand that they're an international company now and they've had to grow up a bit, but I miss this. I miss this, Brewdog. I miss this type of beer, this great beer that you can produce. So my message, I suppose, is please, 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 maybe, I mean, we're in awful times at the moment, and I think it's a time for togetherness. It's not a time to break rank and really kind of criticise, because everybody's, I mean, there'd be people watching this who work for Brewdog or who are at home and might be feeling quite sensitive at the moment. So going forward, I just hope Brewdog can find some kind of consistency. I hope that they can bring up their beers to a fantastic level for a fantastic price point. I'd buy a can of 440 Punk IPA for £3. I would. If it was like the original recipe that tasted fantastic. It was amazing. It looked like this. Smelt tropical. More of a West Coast IPA, Punk IPA back in the day. but they can do it. They've proven it. They can do it. They're not unknowledgeable people. They haven't suddenly become stupid. It's money. Everything in life boils down to money. It always does and it always will. I'd rather pay a little bit more money and have a fantastic Brewdog beer than some 4 for $6 deal in a supermarket that is a half-hearted effort at what you used to produce. Brilliant beer. Brilliant beer. That's the message. Brilliant beer. Let's rate it. I love that. I love that. That's one of the best. That will go up with the Brewdog versus Cloudwater as the beers that I will definitely buy, and I highly recommend it. I highly recommend you take a trip to Morrison's and you pick up this beer and check the date. Drink it fresh. It needs to be drunk fresh. Dig around the back of the shelf if you can find a fresh one. Try to, because they always rotate their stock in Morrison's. They're taught to put the stale stuff at the front. So please drink this beer fresh. It hops fade fast. It's a wonderful beer for £3. And I hope somebody at Brewdog's watching this. I really hope. It's a 10 out of 10. Pardon me. It's a 10 out of 10 beer from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box. Subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews. Give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom. Cheers.